Hey there, guys. What's going on? Andres Velasquez here, the Dapper Realtor, real estate agent with Signature Realty, bringing you guys all of the latest and greatest, updating you guys on everything that is COVID-19, real estate, and other things that I feel might be relevant to you guys, especially those of you out there that are a little bit unfamiliar, walking on unfamiliar territory as I am. We're both kind of learning things as we go along, and I felt that it was necessary and my responsibility to update you guys on what was going on. Also, bear with me a little bit because I'm going to try to run through this all in one shot. There are going to be mistakes. I'm going to stumble, obviously, and I'm not going to be able to make any changes or edits, modifications. So if there is a mistake, obviously just going to power right through it. So just bear with me. I don't have any of the capabilities. I'm going to be filming from my house, but I'm going to try to make this as short as possible. It's going to be a two-part segment just because there's so much information I want to get through to you guys, and I want to make sure that I cover everything. So without further ado, this is the COVID-19 episode. If you guys like it, if you like what I'm saying, obviously hit like, share it, comment, let me know what you think about it. Share it with a friend, send it to them directly, or just tag them below and let them know that they can view this, because there's going to be a lot of resources and tools that they're going to want to use or even share with someone else that they might know. So again, COVID-19 edition, market update. And so the first thing I want to talk about is I want to spread the idea of hope, right? I know that in these very difficult times, there's a lot of news that we're reading and seeing and watching about how, you know, the death tolls are just consistently increasing and people are contracting the virus, and it's very difficult, and it's going to put a damper on your mood and kind of set a very heavy tone. But I think that one of the most important things that we can do is kind of just continue to have hope. Obviously understand that this is temporary, it's a temporary setback, just like anything in life. Right, and the most that we can do is kind of look towards the future and the hopes that things will get better. Right, don't not just an idea, but it's an actual thing that we will get through this and we will survive this. And as soon as this entire pandemic is over, you know, we will be able to say we did it, and just think about it in a few months. Hopefully, we're not really sure what the exact timeline is, but here's hoping in a few months we'll be able to relax. We'll be at cookouts, we'll be at parks, we'll be, you know, having fun with our family, loved ones. And so just keep that in mind, that there is a light at the end of the tunnel. And I also want to send out my thoughts and prayers to all the individuals, families that have been impacted by the COVID-19 virus. It's obviously very, very tough times, both financially as well as health-wise, and many individuals have been impacted. And finally, I want to say special thanks to everyone, every single person out there, right? From doctors, physicians assistants, nurses, medical assistants, anyone in the medical profession. You've got police enforcement, right? Both at the local and state level. So like the state troopers, as well as the local police, janitorial custodians, individuals that are working at grocery stores, pet stores, banking institutions, laundromats, from the staff to the management, gas attendants. Obviously, New Jersey is one of the few states in the country that still has gas attendants, so they're not self-serve gas stations. And obviously, anyone who's playing an active role in making sure that all the goods and services and medical attention that we require is available to us. So again, special thanks to everyone out there. I want to give a list of essential businesses to you guys that have been told to us and informed to us by the governor of New Jersey, Phil Murphy. So grocery stores, obviously farmers markets, pharmacies, medical supplies stores, gas stations, convenience stores, hardware and home improvement stores, banks, laundromats. Although with banks, I have been noticing my own bank, I bank with TD. TD Bank is actually has closed you being able to have access inside the branch, but you can do like they have a drive-through service, as well as you can go inside to the ATM if you need to do something a little more simpler, like withdraw cash or deposit checks. So I know that my bank specifically has closed. I don't know if that's the same for every bank, but just something to bear in mind. They are still open and operating, but at a limited use. And then you have laundromats, pet stores, liquor stores. I know that's debatable whether it's an essential business, but it is technically still open. Auto maintenance, repair and auto mechanics, printing and office supply shops, as well as mail and delivery stores. USPS, the Postal Service, FedEx, and UPS. So these are all lists of essential businesses that are continuing to remain open. Continuing to social distance, right? It's something that we've been hearing a lot. Social distance is absolutely important. New Jersey, ladies and gentlemen, New Jersey is the state with the second highest number of confirmed COVID-19 cases, right? So the top four as of March 31st, today, New York is leading, obviously. It's if I don't know if you guys are watching the news, but New York has 75,813 cases as of today, with the death toll around 1,550 to be exact. New Jersey has 18,696. Now, this could be for a number of reasons. One of them, the biggest factors being that we are neighboring New York, which has a lot of residents from New Jersey that commute back and forth, as well as New York residents that commute into New Jersey. So it could be a number of things. Maybe we didn't get to it in time in terms of socially distancing, or making sure that employees were not going to work. So it could be a variety of reasons, and especially now that we're getting more and more testing available, we're realizing that more people have the virus. Michigan is the third state with 7,630 confirmed cases, and California is 7,566. So we actually beat California in terms of number of cases, and not beat them in the sense that it's a good thing. Obviously, this is horrible. It's a tragedy. But we have to continue to practice social distancing. That's one of the things I want to let you guys know, especially because we live in New Jersey. Practice social distancing. And look, I have a number of friends, people that I follow on social media. They have different opinions, Facebook, Instagram. They have a different opinion about, what is happening in terms of the COVID-19, right? Whether it's real, whether it's fabricated, whether it's false. Everyone is saying, these conspiracy theories about, oh, do you really know someone, or how many people do you know who have contracted the virus? It just sounds like a hoax. Listen, I'm going to say this to you guys, for anyone watching, whether it's a hoax, whether you believe in a conspiracy theory or not, that's your own prerogative, right? You have the right to think and feel and say whatever you want, but keep it to yourself. The only reason I say it, and I say that with the utmost respect, I don't want anyone to take this lightly. I think that if you don't know someone who's contracted the virus, consider yourself very lucky and fortunate, right? You don't want to know someone who has the virus, especially if it's a loved one, a friend, a relative. Like, understand that if you don't know someone who has the virus, you're in a very good spot, and you don't want to know someone who has the virus, because it's going to be absolutely catastrophic to you, to your family. It's just, I strongly suggest that if you have these conspiracy theories about whether the virus is true, all these other things that are sort of not really essential, don't really play an integral role in helping the cause, I would just say kind of keep those limited, because again, it's not going to help us out. And in fact, it's going to hurt, because people are going to start thinking, well, if it's not true, then I'm not going to social distance. And that, of course, results in higher or a greater likelihood of people contracting the virus. So please continue to social distance. Don't go out unless you absolutely need to. And so I picked this from the World Health Organization on the practices of good hygiene. So obviously the first thing that we've been seeing is wash your hands very frequently, right? Maintain social distancing, anywhere between 3 to 6 feet. They say 3 feet, but 3 to 6 feet, we've been hearing a lot of 6 feet as far as the distance that you should have between yourself and any other one person. Avoid touching your eyes, nose, or mouth, right? Because our hands are constantly touching a bunch of surfaces, so you want to avoid touching any of these surfaces, to touching your face, your eyes, your nose, especially because you can easily contract the virus from what we're seeing. Respiratory hygiene. If you're going to blow your nose, if you're going to sneeze or you're going to cough, right? Put it inside your elbow. Don't cough inside your mouth, because it's not going to be it's ineffective, or it's going to cause the virus or the spread of germs to continue. So make sure to either cough or sneeze into your elbow. If you have a fever, if you're coughing, or if you have difficulty breathing, please seek medical attention as soon as you possibly can, and refrain from going outside so that you don't risk getting others sick. Stay informed on all the other updates, because this is a very novel virus, right? There's not much known about it. They're heavily researching it at the moment. There isn't a lot of information going out about it. So please keep informed. One of the things that I want to talk to every single person about is properly disposing of masks and gloves. So the very first thing I've been seeing when I've gone out, I went out, I think about 2 days ago or so, I went to the supermarket and I saw people were disposing of their gloves on the floor. I cannot tell you how disheartening it is and frustrating it is to see, especially because, again, we are the second state in the country with the highest confirmed COVID-19 cases, and people are still practicing very bad hygiene, like leaving gloves on the floor when there's a waste bin right by you. Please don't do this. And if you see someone, tell them to not do it, because it is defeating the purpose, right? If you're going to use gloves, make sure that you're using them properly too, right? Don't take out your phone while using gloves or go in your car and use your gloves, because you're not really helping. You're actually spreading the bacteria or the virus even more so. If you're using gloves and you're outside, use them, but make sure you dispose of them correctly, as well as disposing of your masks correctly. And I'm going to send you guys, I'm going to share a video on my Instagram story for you guys to take a look at the proper way of taking off your gloves. Again, because it doesn't make sense the way some people are, and I didn't know this. I don't want to sound condescending. I didn't know that there was a proper way of taking off your gloves, but there is. And so I'm going to share it with you guys on my story so you guys can take a look at that as well. Okay, and then finally, what I want to touch on, this is going to be the end of the first part. This is the last thing I want to touch on before I get into the second part, which is more real estate related. The last thing I want to touch on is tax filing extensions. So, as many of you may or may not know, taxes have been extended, or the IRS allowed an extension for taxes up until July 15th, except New Jersey is not actually one of them. Now, Governor Phil Murphy was supposed to make an announcement, or at least people were hoping that he'd make an announcement as far as whether there would be an extension today, but unfortunately he hadn't announced anything. He said that there was an idea to extend it, but it hasn't actually been official, at least in the state of New Jersey. So the announcement is still pending. We don't really necessarily know if it's extended. As of right now, it's the 15th. So if you haven't, please make sure to file your taxes. I know people are saying you have until July 15th, but every state is different and different states are carrying it out differently. I just went onto the state of New Jersey's Treasury website and they're saying that you still have to file your taxes before April 15th. Things may change, right? Later this week, Governor Phil Murphy may announce that it's going to change. But as of right now, as you're watching this, it is March 31st, 8:38 p.m. as I'm recording this, Eastern Standard Time. And yes, you have to file your taxes before April 15th. Otherwise, you'll face a penalty. So again, keep that in mind. Now, this is going to conclude the first part of the series for the COVID-19 episode. The next part is going to be a little more real estate related. But again, if you guys like what you saw, please, again, hit like, give me a thumbs up in the comment section and share it with a friend. All right, get ready for the second part.